As your natural journey unfolds, let our products naturally assist you. Live your full unfiltered life with the Salome range for PMS, menstrual pain, and heavy menstrual bleeding. Salome, your journey matters. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Welcome back to your Tuesday edition of Afternoon Express. Now, education is the key to unlocking fears, especially when it comes to that all-important conversation about your menstrual cycle. Our journeys may be unique, but we are bound to come across similar or the same lived experiences along the way. So joining us in studio today is general practitioner Dr. Bronwen Anderson, who is from Dr. David Cathan and Partners. And then we're also joined by Head of Marketing at 360 Biopharmaceuticals, Relebogile Modiga, who will also be discussing your menstrual cycle and Salome. Ladies, welcome to the loft.
Thank you, Palisa. Good to be here.
Now, over the weeks, we have been having this conversation, and it's truly sparked up some very important questions. So today, we're going to keep the ball rolling now.
Yeah.
I want to find out from you, Doctor. I mean, in your experience and in your practice, I'm pretty sure you do advise these young girls and parents quite similarly. But if you were to speak to parents and you have to have one conversation, key points and key factors, what conversations and what should they be bringing up in such conversations?
Well, firstly, it is a very, very important topic to bring up, and we generally would say that, firstly, what is menstruation? And just explaining that in very simple terms to your child would be explaining that it's the, your body's maturing, you are reaching the physical ability to fall pregnant. Firstly, start by asking them, what do they understand by puberty? That's a good start, because sometimes parents just feel they don't even know where to start. So that you have some sort of idea, they are right, what they understand from it, and then you can sort of allay their misconceptions, you open it up to them, and then you take it from there. It gives you an opportunity to start the conversation and to build on your relationship with your child. We normally say to parents that from the time their breast buds start, we would look at about 2 years thereafter that you can actually expect them to start with the menstruation.
Now, Dr. Bronwen, at the end of the day, you did bring up something that is key and pivotal to this conversation. Girls are afraid. There's some kind of anxiety around it, intimidation around it. I know myself personally, I was probably 14 when I started, but I went to my mom. So if we were to look at the flip side of the coin, when advising these young girls, who should they be talking to?
So it needs to be someone that they feel comfortable and that is a trusted carer. Obviously, the mom would be the first person that a person would advise a child to go and see to. But we often say the trusted carer, whether it means an older sibling, a trusted family member, someone that is reliable. Those would be the first people and the best people to give you the advice. Unfortunately, kids give each other advices, and this isn't always the best part of it. You don't know.
There's a danger there.
You don't know what sort of information, if it is even the correct information that they are getting from each other and their peers. So firstly, the parent, being the mom, would be number one, but any other trusted carer or family member, older siblings, would also be a reliable source.
Absolutely. Now, Relebogile, bringing you into this conversation and the incredible work that you do with the Salome range, what have you experienced when it comes to these girls and the conversations that need to be had, and what relationship should they be having with their entrusted person?
You know, like Dr. Bronwen was saying, a lot of these kids are scared to talk about it. And for us as a brand, the key is making sure that there's resources available for them to tap into. And as Salome, we make sure that we have conversations with doctors, we have conversations with gynaes, so that they can tap into our website to look into that, get more information. And a lot of the young kids want to know the information. We've done work with the Minister of Menstruation and all her workshops that she does to encourage period positive talk. And that's what we need to get to, where not just girls and menstruators are comfortable to talk about it, but also boys as well, right? So if I have a son, my son needs to be comfortable with both myself and my daughter going on our period.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people do tend to forget about the boy child in this conversation, and also including fathers into that responsibility as well. But again, at the end of the day, when we are talking about periods, it's specifically targeted to the young girl. And along with being a young girl comes some body issues, body dysmorphia, insecurities, and unfortunately, a lot of young girls tend to fall into the trap of eating disorders. So I want to find out from you, doctor, when a child, or rather if someone does have an eating disorder, let's just blanket statement it, does that have any long-term effects on menstruation?
It definitely does. Menstrual irregularities and abnormalities are a definite consequence of all eating disorders, and that is across the spectrum, with significant medical complications that can result from that. The whole menstrual dysfunction has such a wide there's so many key factors that play a role, such as your loss of body weight, body fat, the abnormal eating behaviors that you have.
Lifestyle patterns.
Exactly. They all function and contribute to this, the problems that it can cause with menstruation. And unfortunately, there are long-term medical complications that can result from eating disorders. Number one is cognitive dysfunction, puberty, developmental delays. It interferes with linear growth, and then bone mineralization is one of the key factors that we see with regards to eating disorders and menstruation, just due to the hormonal effects, and it can cause loss of calcium in the bones and getting fractures easily, broken bones. So there definitely are long-term complications. It's not just an isolated incident, and it has far-reaching medical effects.
And I suppose that's why both you ladies, and not only both you ladies, but we have been having these conversations throughout the weeks, because it's important to bring up some of the factors that people might overlook or might not even know anything about. I mean, Relebogile, that is what your life's work, or kind of the stage, is all about, that empowerment of women to take control of their periods, take control of the conversation, and at the end of the day, all of us to be enlightened. Why is this so important to you?
You know, our periods are a vital part of our reproductive health. And I remember when I was young, if I missed a period, I would be excited. But when you miss a period, you must worry, because what is causing you to miss a period? And that's when you need to start raising an alarm and maybe seeing a doctor to see, okay, am I tracking my cycle? What is happening with my cycle? Am I skipping my period? If I'm skipping my period, what is happening? Because later on in life, when we are trying to have children, then you're going to look back and think, okay, maybe...
There are warning signs.
Exactly. I should have addressed this. So all of this, we need to embrace that monthly process and look at it as, I'm healthy, you know? And you're going to thank yourself in the years where you are trying to conceive and you want to have children.
Well said. Thank you so much for adding that comma, full stop to this conversation. Well, we're hoping it's not going to be a full stop, Mzansi, because we need to keep this conversation going. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Melissa, for having us.
Now go out and share this information right now. Keep passing the keys of wisdom wherever you go, because with Salome, your journey matters.
On a monthly basis, all of us powerful, fierce women deal with our menstrual cycle. But why let it affect our lives?
Anywhere I go, anywhere I be.
As your natural journey unfolds, let our products naturally assist you. Live your full, unfiltered life with the Salome range for PMS, menstrual pain, and heavy menstrual bleeding. Salome, your journey matters.
Available at pharmacies nationwide.